Okay.
All right. Awesome. Well, hi. Welcome, everyone. Happy Tuesday night. We are so glad you're with us. I am Tracy Flintoff, and I am here in Bonnie Lake, Buckley-ish, Washington State. So we're south of Seattle, if you don't know where this is. And we're so glad to have you. What we're going to share with you tonight has something that has absolutely changed our life, and not just my own life, but most of my family and many, many of my friends and people that I never knew before these crazy little patches came into our life. But we're going to be talking about this little beauty thing here that I'm wearing here on my neck. And today, where we're living, and Cami, my dearest friend, is here with me too. We're going to tag team on this tonight, take turns and share something with you that we think your future self is going to really thank you for. And but today in the Northwest, we've got this rain and gray. And I have to tell you, my energy level is just not what it normally is, because I am solar powered. Sunshine is my fuel. And the good thing is, on a gray day like this, I can put this little thing on and I can give my body the internal power of what sunlight does for the external body. And you'll understand more in a little bit here as we go through this, but this is phototherapy, light therapy. And light has been very instrumental in our health here of recent. But I'm going to go ahead and share with you a PowerPoint that we put together to help you visualize and understand why these are such a big thing and why we are spending time sharing this tonight. We're also going to tell you, why are you learning about this from Tracy and Cami, and you've never heard of it on TV or in a magazine or from your doctor. And it's kind of sad. But before we get started, what we're going to talk about tonight is reverse aging, and we're doing that naturally. So you've probably heard of anti-aging. And anti-aging is different. That is stopping your age where you are and not letting you progress beyond genetically, biologically, biomarker-wise in your body. But what if you're at an age where you don't like what Mother Nature has done to you? Maybe you don't want to stay at that age. Maybe you're not living your best life. That's not so good. So this company is pretty progressive, and we are going beyond anti-aging. What we're talking about tonight is age reversal technology. But there is a statistic out there that about 2/3 of the planet will die from an avoidable disease. And I think that's a crying shame. And when you know what we know, you're going to understand that you don't have to become one of those statistics. What we're talking about tonight is a smart new technology. You know, lots of us have great technology developments in our phones that we are reliant on. But it wasn't too long ago that we talked on those phones attached to a curly Q cord to the kitchen wall, right? We don't know why these telephones work, but we know it does. Kind of similar to this little magic patch here, but you're going to understand why it works here very soon. And this is allowing your body to repair itself as it was designed to do and help you turn back the hands of time. So often when we get into our golden years, and a lot of us dream of getting to our golden years and, living that charmed retirement life, sometimes that life can be a little tarnished because health doesn't keep up with our expectations of what we want it to be. And we might not feel as great as we want to feel. And we might be living with some very challenging things and some pain. So we're going to talk about a way to help make sure your golden years are truly that, and shining, glistening with true gold. What we're talking about tonight is a holistic wellness device or product, and it is in that FDA category. So if we were talking about a medical device, we could be making medical claims and the FDA would be sanctioning that. But because we're in the holistic wellness space, we can't make medical claims. We are not going to be diagnosing or treating any medical conditions. And you always want to consult with your doctor regarding your issues, your medical treatment. But what we're going to do tonight is we're going to be sharing with you some results of other folks, and you're going to get to learn from other people and see what these did for them. So Cami and I are not doctors. No big surprise there, I suppose, right? So does anybody know anything about stem cell injections? That's kind of a big thing in the media these days. And you hear a lot of buzz about, stem cells. They can repair, they can regenerate, and they really can. But the reality is to get stem cells into your body that are of a youthful state, it takes an injection. These are very, very expensive. We are talking minimum of like $5,000 here in the US. Those are not the best, strongest stem cells. That's a different type. In the US, most of our very good stem cell injections have to come out of the US because they're not illegal, or they are illegal in America. So you might be going to Panama, Germany, Greece, and you could be spending $30,000, $50,000 for an injection plus your travel. They are painful. They aren't always effective. They are invasive. You are putting somebody else's DNA in your body. It's not always a good thing because you can have side effects. There are no guaranteed results. And then the ultimate question is, how were those sourced and was it ethically? So you hear some real horror stories around that. But here's where the good news comes in tonight. What if there was an affordable alternative to that and you could regenerate your body? You could help things repair. You could get yourself out of pain naturally without all of that and very affordably. Would you be interested? Well, we're hoping you said yes to that because what we're going to share with you tonight is exactly that. And this is a wearable phototherapy patch. It was developed 20 years ago for the US Navy SEALs down in San Diego. And that's where this company is based out of. The company is called Lifewave. And they made their way into the hands of some Olympic athletes on the Stanford swim team years ago. And 6 out of 8 swimmers set their best personal record. They ended up in the hands of some pretty fantastic athletes. And we'll talk about that in a minute. But what this does is it allows your body to repair itself with the power of light. So again, this is age reversal. There's no chemicals, there's no drugs, there's no stimulants. Therefore, there's no side effects, which I love. I never have to ask somebody, what kind of meds are you on? Because it really doesn't matter. There's no drug interactions. And this is a privately held company. And that's why your doctors are not typically educated. There are getting to be more and more doctors in the know and using these, but very few because there are no pharmaceutical reps that are going to go around and educate those doctors. If there were, this would be costing maybe $1,000 a month, and it would be available to only wealthy people. And the founder of this company, David Schmidt, is all about purpose over profit, and he really wants to help people's health, and he wants to keep it affordable for the masses. So that is why you have to learn about this from a friend. Hopefully somebody that cared enough about you invited you here tonight. He has 100 patents, actual global patents on this product too. But phototherapy has been around for years, and light is very instrumental in health. I was telling you we're having a gray, rainy day here. My energy is not off the charts like it normally would be in the sunshine. But when that sun typically hits our skin, it triggers the body to create a bio response that tells the body to make vitamin D3. And that is a photosynthesis process, very similar to how plants grow. Remember back in science class, photosynthesis. So it's light, and we'll talk more about that. But what this is, it's a patented phototherapy product. This is the only company you will hear about this from where nothing is going in the bloodstream. You might have heard of an estrogen patch, a vitamin patch, a nicotine patch. That's a different kind of patch. Those are all transdermal patches where things get into the bloodstream. This is non-transdermal, nothing going in the bloodstream. But we are activating these by our body heat, and we're reflecting back into our body our own low-level infrared light. I didn't even know we had that. You might not know either, but if you've ever watched a crime drama show, you see people with night vision goggles, and those light signatures you see around a body, can even be an animal out in the forest. That is the light that these reflect. It's kind of like a mirror, and there's an angle. But where we place these patches is based on Chinese medicine, acupressure points, and it works on the meridians of the body. It's all about energy flow. And in Chinese medicine, they call that qi. And so if you have blocked energy, that is pain. And this is all about unblocking the blocked energy and helping you alleviate your pain naturally. But light's been used for thousands of years. And in health, if you go back in Grecian times, Roman times, and you could go read the Bible, they do mention, the power of light and let there be light, and for really good reason. But wavelengths of light, like you see here on the red left image, that is a panel of infrared light that's very restorative and reparative, but you only can use that for about 20 minutes a day. You need a battery source. The middle picture is lasers. Lasers are just concentrated light that do changes in the body. And the infrared sauna is very restorative and reparative for the body as well. Here's the cool thing about this. The human body is the battery in this situation. But I'm going to mention this health tracker, and I believe Cami will put that in chat if you would like to download that and print it. I highly encourage you to use this tool. She and I didn't have tools like this when we got started in this, but I'll tell you my story real quick because I had this health tracker. I would have tuned into some things that were changing in my body for the better, but I just didn't know. Nobody taught me any of this stuff. But I just started using these patches because I went through a very horrible menopause that literally fried my brain. I used to be a fairly intelligent person, and I could find words and I could do numbers and spreadsheets. And when I went through that hormonal change of life, I really had a horrible brain fog. I also had anxiety, which I never had in my life. I was losing hair by the handfuls. I did not sleep. I had about 2-hour sleep span because of hot flashes that kept waking me up. And I'd been on a levothyroxine thyroid medication for 15 years. And I also had some horrible bunions on both of my feet because I grew up as an ice skater and a skier in these little tiny tight boots that do really bad things to mostly women's feet, but men can get them too. I had one removed surgically on my right foot about 6 years ago, and I swore I would never, ever do it again. But I needed it equally as bad on my left foot. Had I had the health tracker, I would have noted all these things, right? I would have checked them off and celebrated, done a happy dance as the issues went away. But about 9 months into me wearing these, my friend calls me and says, "Do you think those patches of yours would help my bunions? Because they want to do that bunionectomy, that horrible thing you said you would never do again." And I said, "Bunions? Wait a minute. Huh. I used to have a terribly painful left foot with bunions. It hasn't bothered me. I don't even know when that stopped." And I took off both of my shoes and I looked at my feet and they look identical. And one had a surgically massive bunion removed. The other one, the patches helped take the inflammation out, repair the nerves, and the body realigned that bone. Miraculous, yes, I know. But another thing happened to me about 4.5 months in. I was using these patches. I'd shared them with my medical doctor when he saw me in my absolute meltdown state. And I went back to him about 4.5 months and I said, "You know what? I don't think these patches are working anymore for me because the hot flushes are back. I'm not sleeping. I lost my brain again and I feel terrible." And he laughed because he now uses these. And I had shared this with him. He'd done his homework and he said, "Oh, no, no, those are working because those repair cells, they know their job. And I suspect your thyroid has regenerated itself. And I think you're over medicated on levothyroxine, but let's do your blood work and we'll confirm." And lo and behold, yes, I got to wean myself off of levothyroxine and I no longer take any prescription meds. So I'm a pretty happy camper because if you know what I know about those prescription meds, you don't want to be on any more than you absolutely have to be. But this would be a great time uh, to unmute yourself, Jill, if you would be so kind as to share what your experience has been. And I know you've been sharing these with some of your clients with some great results, but if you wouldn't mind sharing, we'd just absolutely love that.
And I'm going to unpin you.
Okay, I had to get back to the correct screen. So yes, so definitely having the thyroid situation resonates with me so much. So for everyone that doesn't know me, my name is Jill Gubeau, and so I have been in health and wellness for a long time. I've always lived a pretty healthy lifestyle. And about 2.5 years ago, I got COVID, and I got it pretty significantly, and it really changed my life for the worse. And after getting COVID, I ended up losing a whole bunch of my hair. And at that time, I had no idea what was going on. In addition to losing my hair, I had extreme fatigue. And I'm a small business owner and have always been super active and just can go and go and go all day, no problem, energy through the roof. And my skin became this weird gray tone. And so I like to do things as natural as I possibly can. And when my hair started significantly thinning and my eyelashes falling out, I knew something was terribly wrong. I tried to do what I could to figure it out. But at that point in time, I knew something was really wrong. And I went to go see a kinesiologist. And through this experience with the kinesiologist, we did all sorts of muscle testing, and you can eat this, you can't eat this, blah, 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 blah. Nothing was really, working. The main thing that changed in my life at that time was I started incorporating animal protein into my diet after not eating animal protein for 27 years. So once I started doing that, started making me feel a little bit better, but I still did not have the energy or nothing compared to how I was before. And my lovely friend, Danielle, well, let me back up just one second. So through that kinesiologist, I got diagnosed having Hashimoto's. And Hashimoto's is an autoimmune condition, basically when your thyroid is being attacked by your immune system. And I was like, oh my gosh, how can I have this autoimmune condition when I live a healthy lifestyle? Like, what is happening? And so basically, I went through a lot of trauma and stress, the most that I've endured in my entire life. And over a course of, 3 to 4 years after getting the COVID, my body just couldn't handle stress. And this is how the Hashimoto's came to light, is through extreme chronic stress. And so when I got diagnosed with this condition, it really made me feel really emotional and so much, mental depression, anxiety. My whole life changed for the worse. And my dear friend Danielle said, hey, I have these patches that I want you to try. And so we got in contact, with Tracy, and Tracy shared with me what they are. And because I'm a believer in holistic and alternative modalities, I said, yes, sign me up, because I decline and I refuse to take prescription medications. So I was committed to reversing this Hashimoto situation through nutrition and lifestyle change. And that's why I was committed to start introducing animal protein after not eating it for 27 years. And so once I started these Lifewave patches, I started with the X39 to start out with, and the glutathione and the Eon. And when I tell you that I felt my energy come back within 3 days of being on these patches, I said, okay, I feel something, I'm going to continue on this regimen. So I ended up signing up as a gold member, because I wanted to get the full benefit. And I felt like, okay, might as well just invest into this product And if you're going to do it, you want to do it, you know, all the way. So I did this for an entire year. And through this experience, my hair started growing back. My energy started coming back. My skin started getting really clear and smooth. And then I stopped taking Lifewave for a year. And what ended up happening is my depression. I never experienced mental health before, ever in my life, until I got these health conditions. And let's see, it was last November, I started figuring out that I had been in a depression for the past 2 years. And once I started figuring out that I was depressed, I had this epiphany and I said, oh my gosh, I need to get back on Lifewave. And so I ordered another, you know, whatever protocol, I can't remember the protocol that I did. But since that time, getting back on Lifewave, within a week of taking this protocol, I could feel a difference in my mental health. And not only that, but this time around, my hair started growing so thick and fast. And if you've ever experienced losing your hair as a female, that is like, it's one of the worst feelings ever, because that is like your crown, right? That's like a femininity thing. And so now when people compliment me on my hair, they have no idea how impactful that is to me. Because I tell people, you don't know what you have until you lose it. And that's why I'm so passionate about health and wellness and creating space for people to be empowered and inspired and to find the motivation within themselves to create change. And we have the tools to be able to do that. So I am so beyond thankful and grateful every day that I have been introduced to this product. And in my business, I'm a nutritional therapy practitioner. And in my business, Lifewave is what I recommend to people. I have a host of all types of supplements that I have access to, but my protocol is always Lifewave. So thank you, Tracy and Cami, for providing this platform to share this real story and information with people.
Oh, well, thank you, Jill. It's been so fun to watch your journey and to be a part of it, and so happy. Get to help people along right beside
Absolutely.
you. And speaking of people that you've helped, so I think Cindy is, if you want to unmute yourself, Cindy, we'd love to have you share your testimony, because hers is a pretty great one, and she's a client of Jill's. So
Yeah, so I'm a client of Jill's. I am one that I got deathly ill. I ended up with Lyme disease, Hashimoto's, and E. coli. The Hashimoto's was there, but I ended up with E. coli, and then it turned into vasculitis, autoimmune, which is very, very deadly. But so she told me about him, and I was like, oh, how can a patch fix you? Stuck it on my desk, and there it sat. But you know, I have to say, Jill was just so kind, because I mean, I get frustrated because I know it changes lives, because it changed my life so much. But she was so kind with me, and she just allowed me to, once I understood what it was. So one day I just was so sick, I thought, I'm just going to do it. Like you, Tracy, have said, you know, you just get to a point. And so I said, I'm just going to put it on. And that day, I have never been the same since. It changed my life. I was in chronic pain. My chronic pain is gone. Within 3 months, I went from a positive vasculitis. I now have paperwork to show it's negative. I no longer have it. So it reversed, which they've never heard of. And of course, the doctor was like, yeah, you're crazy. You know, the rheumatologist that did my test was like, well, you know, if that works for you, you know, just being, you know what I'm saying. But yeah, something I do want to really share that's new, that I didn't even realize, and something that could impact a ton of people was I lived on allergy medicine. I have it in my purse. I have it in my desk at my office. I have it upstairs next to my bed. I have it in my kitchen. I have it in my Bible book bag. I have it in my car. I have allergy medicine everywhere because I can't go without it. And someone just 3 days ago, 4 days ago, I don't remember, said, yeah, the allergies are really bad. And I looked at my husband and I said, I haven't taken a single allergy pill since I started Lifewave. Not one. Not one. And I lived on them, sometimes 2 and 3. Sometimes I'd have to take 2 different types of allergy pills and put drops in my eyes. I haven't taken nothing. Zero, zippo, nothing. That is life-changing for me. And my
great.
husband so he's seeing all this progress in me. I've lost 40 pounds now so far. I did have weight loss surgery, but it's not so much the weight is I've lost a ton of inflammation. I've went down, so I've lost some weight, but it was the inflammation. I can't believe it. If people could see a picture of me before, Tracy, oh my goodness. I mean, seriously. So, but, and it's helped my cat who had cancer that I thought I was going to lose. He was losing all of his hair and he had horrible sores on him. And within 2 weeks of me putting my used patches on his collar, his hair's all grown back. He's acting like a kitten and jumping and playing and he's got the zoomies. It's changed my life. I can't say enough.
Wow. So fun to be a part of this journey. So there's no money can give the reward of just knowing that you could help somebody change a life. So cool. And then real quickly, just tell him about your husband because he just did the gut regeneration, right?
Yes, I was going to say that.
And I'm going to talk about this gut regeneration coming
my
up here.
husband's anti anything, and Jill knows that. Like any kind of health thing, he just does. He's not. But he was like, he could see everything it was doing for my health and saving me. And so he's diabetic. So we decided to do this gut regeneration, and he lost 12 pounds. And he dropped his A1C 5 points in 18 days using the Lifewave.
Yay. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we'll explain here soon.
Yeah, she'll explain how it works and why it
how
works.
and why that works. But
yeah.
Pretty great.
Yeah.
Just helping Mother Nature do what our body was designed to do. So thank you both so much for taking the time to share. That it just makes such a difference. And anyway, we'll just go on. But I mentioned about the U.S. swim team winning medals because of these amazing patches. And here's Michael Phelps. And when he won all those medals in Beijing, he was wearing these. Serena and Venus Williams, they like to wear them on their wrists. David Beckham wears them on his chest. But in 2019, history was made when the X39 patch was created. This company was 20 years old, mind you. 2004, they were started, and all these athletes have been using these. We haven't known about them as us consumers, but they started sharing this more with individual people like us once that X39 came out, because for the first time ever, it brings back the cells that we begin life with in utero. And those cells are our repair cells. And this reactivates them. It does so much more than just heighten athletic performance. And you're going to see some examples here soon. But there is a timeline. The first few days you wear these, you're resetting about 4,000 of your genes to a younger state. And 1 to 3 months, we start to see mental, physical, emotional changes are happening. And some people, like Cindy didn't even tell you the first day she wore these, she had had 2 numb fingers for a very long time. That day, the fingers got their feeling sensation back. So we do have people called one patch wonders. They are far and few between, but she was one of them. I was one of them. The first night I wore them, I slept the other night without a hot flash, and I dreamt. I hadn't done that since college. So, but we do want to be realistic here because you are repairing at the cellular level, and that takes time. And David Schmidt, the inventor, says if you wear these 1 decade, or excuse me, 1 month for every decade, you are old. So if you are 60 years old, you have lost the majority of your stem cells. You've lost 90%. Those are your repair cells. And it is going to take about 6 months for you to really bring them back and get your body into the repair phase. Beyond that, then you start going into an age reversal phase. And I love this study they did on the cardiovascular health. They had 15 participants. It was a smaller study during COVID. They couldn't have a lot of people doing it. But 14 out of 15 people saw on average an 8-year reduction in their biomarkers around their heart health. Those biomarkers would be blood pressure and different things within the blood readings. And that was after just 6 months of using the X39. So if you do the math on that, after a year's use, you're about 16 years genetically younger. I mean, who doesn't want that? That's going backwards, baby. Sign me up all day long. But I want to share with you because, you know, if you're new to this, I know it's a lot, and I don't want you to feel overwhelmed. The more you hear this, and we encourage you to, you know, tune in again and again and again, and bring a friend if you want. But there's a great website. It's called Start X39 Now. And it gives you a lot of the pictures I'm going to show, a lot of this information. This is the homepage, and it's talking about the power of the patch. And there's a couple videos. I encourage you to watch video 1. It's 2 minutes about the history of light, the power of light. A jaundiced baby gets the liver turned on by being in the light, right? Our skin gets tanned by being in the light. Light has power for the body. The second video is 3 minutes long, and it's talking about the copper peptide that X39 raises, which ultimately brings back the stem cells to life and regenerates the body. But I love this science section because when I shared this with my doctor, I sent him to this website, to this very section here I highlighted in yellow, Age Reversal with GHK Copper Peptide, because it has so much information. It's kind of science speak, you know, so some of us don't understand a lot of what it's telling us, but you can get a really good idea, you know, lung protection. It's doing great things for the pulmonary issues. Anti-fast growing cells, that's that C word the FDA doesn't like us to talk about. This is incredibly powerful for that. It is able to reset those fast growing cells. I love the last one here. 84 genes are reset to make it very, very hard for those fast growing cells to live in the body. Who doesn't want that? And if you've had that, you want this too. But there's a lovely section here of doctors, and they share from their experience, their patients' experience. Cardiologist on here, a functional medicine doctor who has multiple sclerosis herself. I love her story, Dr. Patty de Blasio. On the far right here, Dr. Pamela is a Chinese acupuncture doctor. I learned a lot from her that these really are very similar in concept to what acupressure is doing, moving energy in the body and unblocking blocked energy. But those are great resources to learn from. And because the FDA doesn't let this company advertise, like I mentioned earlier, we have to be careful with what we say too. We can't make any medical claims or anything, but I can show you pictures of other people's experience. So here is a snowboard guy, little accident, road rash, had an upcoming job interview, and thankfully his mom had these patches, and look at him, look how quickly, you know, that's the power of these repair cells. This is scar remodeling, and I love this because it shows the role of collagen in the body. And I didn't understand the power of collagen, but this is an open heart surgery scar. On the left, the middle is Mother Nature's healing process 1 year later. And look at that far right image in August. That's just 1 month on the patches. But when that collagen comes in, it remodeled that scar, changes the pigmentation and fills in that divot. Life-changing. This little guy cut off his finger in a door. 2 months later, he has full use of that finger, and the dad had to convince that surgeon to sew that on because the surgeon did not want to, but they had the patches and they knew that it was going to help it. This is an image of bulging discs in the neck. This person has excruciating pain in the left image. Where you see that spinal cord have the indentations, that's that term bone on bone, where you're getting material touching, and that creates pain. The actual bulging disc is down here at the C7 between the T1. You see that black thing pushing into the spinal cord? That is a misaligned disc, naughty disc, bad disc. Get back into spot here. And look at that person, same patient. A few months later, the disc is back in position, but more importantly, the collagen has allowed the joint lubrication, the ligament tendon to regenerate, and that person does not have pain. Pretty great. This lady has a spinal alignment issue, and this is after 4 weeks using a combination of the Lifewave for pain blocking and X39, and that spine has realigned and straightened. This is just showing you that age reversal effect. It's not just anti-aging, because Grandpa Dude here would still look like that today if we were just talking anti-aging. And I call him Grandpa Dude affectionately. Cammie and I are really good friends with this guy, Dr. Harmon. He came to town and did a great anti-aging or age reversal workshop, excuse me, at Pierce College for us in April. He is our buddy. He lives over in Meridian, Idaho, and I think Cammie and Carla were just over there with him
on Tuesday.
But look at this guy. I say he goes from grandpa to hot dude all the time. He blushes, but I think he really is pretty hot dude now. But that's 14 months. He did have a blockage in the right branch of his heart that these patches regenerated and repaired. So when you get the right blood flow, look at what can happen with the power of the patch. Now, his cardiologist was absolutely blown away. He'd never seen any one of those blockages resolve themselves. Never heard of the patches. I think he probably laughed at them initially, but I think he's a believer now. And then Mandy here, she's down in Australia, and she starts out looking like grandma, and she's just absolutely gorgeous now. I love this one more for not just the age reversal, but just look at the energy and the vitality. I love her eyes. You know, this first one, she looks like she's barely making it through the day, right? But look at her over here. I mean, that girl's got the world by us on the string. This is our very dear friend, Marcy Preble. And none of us would be here on this Zoom right now if it weren't for Marcy. Marcy was dying, literally, of cancer. Stage 3 breast cancer, spread to lymph, went into a very aggressive form of skin cancer, a type of skin cancer that never goes into remission. And her doctor said, that will be the one that will take you out. I'm sorry, but there's nothing we can do with that skin cancer. But look at her, this first picture on the left, that's 2019. Her naturopath gave her 10 of these patches. And on day 3, the chemo came out through her mouth. She was detoxifying. Day 7, it came out through her back. It broke out terribly. When you have too many toxins in your body and they need to get out, sometimes they break out through skin. But look at how she's changed. And she's just glowing from the inside out, literally. She's in full remission 4 years later. And she has committed her life to spreading the word about these patches, because she would be 6 feet under right now if it were not for these. So she's the lady who spent her own money on the website that I shared with you. She figured out how to do the Zoom, and she's our amazing mentor, and we just adore her. She's a heart of gold. But this is just showing you some collagen changes in hyaluronic acid. When you bring those back, they're your own. They're not out of a bottle or a jar. Great things can happen. Turkey necks go away, varicose veins get hidden. And look at the guy with the birthmark. I'm sure he is thrilled as all get out. And this guy, Cammie and I had a great debate, because I was convinced these were 2 separate people, and she was absolutely adamant, no, that is the same guy. But I'm like, no, he looks like grandpa and his face is falling off. And now look at this hot looking guy down here. But yeah, it's the same guy, changed life. Patches know how to fix the body. Doesn't need a diagnosis. They know what to do, those cells. This is hormonal cystic acne. I dealt with this for many years myself, but look at this young lady, 6 weeks. She has this porcelain skin. I would have paid a lot of money to get these when I was in high school, let me tell you. This fella, 5 weeks here, his hair's fully coming in. My hair is so much thicker now. I really have thick hair. I never have had that since I was a kid. But this is better than Botox. You know, you don't want to put toxins in your body. Please don't do Botox, especially around the brain. You know, you're working so close to that brain. You can set yourself up for dementia and things. So you don't want to put toxins in the body. Look at this lady here, her décolleté, after 6 months wanting to be a bride wearing a strapless gown, and she did. Her friend also gave her the Alabita creams along with the patches, which we'll talk about here in just a bit. But we learned from Dr. Harmon, the hot dude that came to town and trained us. He's a brain health doctor. And he talked about losing neurons, about 9,000 a day. And that begins around age 30. That's Mother Nature's bell curve. Age 30, 35, we start losing things rapidly. But we are regaining some, but it's not enough to keep us young and vital and with good memories. So they did a study, and I love this study, and it is a brain mapping study. And they used heat mapping EEGs. These images are looking down on the person's brain. This particular woman is a 77-year-old lady with dementia. That session 1 is her baseline. She's not yet put any patches on her body. Where you see orange and red, that's inflammation in her brain. So that swelling in the brain that puts pressure on the blood vessels, that makes it slow for the blood to flow. And when that blood gets slow enough, toxins can settle in, and that dementia can then become Alzheimer's or Parkinson's. We don't want that. So if we keep the blood flowing and smooth and thinner blood that carries oxygen and nutrients, you can help regenerate the tissues and the viability. But session 2 is her first check-in after 3 weeks of wearing patches. You can see the inflammation's gone. It's no longer a hot brain, but it's not a perfectly balanced brain yet. But the body knows what to do. These patches just allow the body to do what it was designed. So 3 more weeks later, session 3, that is now 6 weeks on these patches, that's a perfectly balanced brain. 80% of brain matter on one side, 20% on the other, and that is perfect coherence between those two hemispheres. When that coherence gets off, that can be like ADHD, autism, different things, but the coherence comes back into balance because of the decreased inflammation and improved memory and all sorts of good things. So I've heard her story and I loved it. But these are not just for people. These are for our fur babies too. And you heard Cindy talk about her kitty who is dying of cancer. And I hear these cat stories with leukemia all the time. And it just warms my heart that putting a patch, and often these are not brand new patches. We're putting our used patches on our animals. But this is my girlfriend's black lab dog here. And I had no idea this would happen. And she and I are pretty emotional when this did happen. She got the patches from me, and this is a 14-year-old dog that doesn't run and play and chase a stick any longer. So I knew he had arthritis, he had pain. And I said, Terry, just put your used patches on Brutus, tape him on the inside of his collar, put him on his pet bed. And you just don't know what's going to happen. But I hear a lot of dogs that act like puppies again. And here he is. I didn't know he had gone blind from diabetes. That white frosty eye is cataracts, no pupil. He slept on his bed all day long. She'd have to put his leash on him and literally drag him out the door to go potty. That was December 21st of 2022 when she took that picture. She called me crying, and she said, "You're not going to believe it, but Brutus is following me around the house. He sees again." I said, "You're kidding. You've only been doing this for what, a week?" She said exactly 1 week that they'd been doing this for him. But that is a brown eye with a pupil. And that's a changed life of a little doggy. But they've been using these on racehorses for years because they don't want to put a lame horse, thousands and thousands of dollars in these horses. They can put patches on them and their ligaments and tendons and cartilage can regenerate. So pretty fun. So I am on my last section, and then I'm going to turn this over to Cammie. So just bear with me. But Cindy mentioned her husband, and she did the gut regeneration system. So that copper peptide that the GHK brings out in your body from the X39 patch is very essential in breaking down fat cells. I found this image on the internet, on good old Google. This is a professor of chemistry and molecular biology that was talking about this. So not related to Lifewave. So I found that. And then about a week later, I bumped into a doctor. She's a metaphysician. which looks at things from the root cause of the imbalance. Why is this person experiencing pain, depression, anxiety, whatever it is? And she's done it for many, many years, and she's treated her patients for mental health through their stomach. She's used nutrition and diet and felt she was doing a great job for her patients because the brain is really connected to the stomach, and it's the nutrient absorption that keeps a brain healthy and balanced. And she's found out about these patches and started trying them on her patients. But first, she decided she would try them on herself. And I had just listened to her testimonial, and I'm going to tell you how this impacted my family profoundly. But this is 18 days after she wore these 4 patches on her stomach. 18 days. She lost 33 inches. It's not about weight loss. This is about gut health. This is about repairing imbalance in the stomach, whether you know you have it or not. Most all of us do. We store toxins in fat, and we have inflammation. Inflammation in that digestive tract prevents your food from being absorbed properly. So I don't care what kind of vitamins you're taking, what supplements. If you have inflammation in your stomach, you're not getting the benefit of any of that. You are getting very expensive toilet water, sadly. But as soon as you get your body back in balance, you get that inflammation and toxicity out, your body begins absorbing and everything begins changing. But this combination of patches here, Eon is an anti-inflammatory. SP6 works on the hypothalamus of the body. He originally designed that one to help people that were dealing with cravings. That could be a craving of sugar or salt or alcohol or drugs. They've very successfully been using this to help opioid patients wean off naturally, but it raises that intercom. That's a hormone balancing about 87% in 7 days. So that's huge. X39, that's the repair cell. And then glutathione is your body's master antioxidant. That is opening pathways in the body to get toxins out. So this young lady here is my bonus daughter, Angie. I love her dearly. And she was really struggling last summer. She kept throwing up. She thought she had the flu. She came to stay with me. That's at our beach house with her little kitty on our beach there at her largest. She wasn't living her best life. She's been an insomniac for many years. Anxiety and depression have just riddled her. And she's always just kind of struggled to get through life. Things that should be easy, balancing a checkbook, cleaning her room. She just couldn't do it. Didn't have the mental focus until these patches. So when I realized she didn't have the flu, she really had GERD, if you know what that is, gastroesophageal reflux disease. Her stomach was so enraged and angry, it was overproducing the acid. I said, you know what, Angie, I just heard this doctor talk about these patches you wear in your stomach. I have all of them here. Do you want to try them? She said, yeah, I'm desperate. Let's do it. So the next day we put those 4 patches on her stomach. The first day you start above your belly button. The next day you're at your belly button, then you're below the belly button. You repeat that 3-day cycle 6 times for a total of 18 days. These skinny jeans are that same girl. In 18 days, she lost 35 pounds. It's not all fat. A lot of this is toxins stored in fat cells, and it is inflammation. And like Cindy was saying, you know, a lot of it is water weight. And December, look at her. She is beautiful. She is happy and she's thanking me. She's sleeping. She's calm. She's confident. Her room, you know, I can't even believe it. I walk in there and it's like, whose room is this? Because it's surely not yours. But it's a changed life. This is not about, you know, vanity and fitting into skinny jeans. This is about brain health, because brain health comes from your gut. She has now lost 70 pounds without trying. Her body is just getting in balance and homeostasis. So I'm going to switch seats with Cammie now, and she's going to walk you through the products and answer some questions.
Okie dokie. I'm just going to place that tummy tracker in the Zoom, and my computer has a total of like 3% power left, and I can't, my power cord's at home. So you might be sitting next to me again soon. Just saying. Well, this is the point in time where we get to share with you what these patches are, or how to get these in your hands, and this is really honestly one of my favorite parts. So to help you, we want to explain to you that this is something that retail, you really can't put a price on it because they are changed lives that we're talking about. And comparatively, alternatives going out of the country for stem cell injections, you're talking thousands of dollars, not including travel costs. And then these sound like a steal of a deal to me. These stem cell activation patches or the repair cell activation patches, master cell activation patches, X39 and X49, the retail cost is $149 for 30 patches. So $149 a month doesn't sound like a bad deal to me. It sounds like a steal of a deal, considering the wonderful things that these patches do. But we love to help people get wholesale costs. And to do that, we usually build a wholesale pack for somebody. And that's where we I'll briefly share with you about some of the other patches, but I will refer you back to the person who invited you to this call and walk alongside them too if they want that assistance, and help you build the pack to get the patches that you really want to try. But bar none, we always recommend that somebody do the X39 and the Eon patch. We'll talk about that next. The Eon patch reduces inflammation. So what we know about those master cells, those stem cells, is that they cause your body, they go right to the inflammation. They know something's on fire in your body, and those stem cells go to repair it. And most of them get burned out in the inflammation before getting the repairs done. And if we can dial down the inflammation naturally, then more of those stem cells can actually go to repair. So generally, Tracy and I almost always recommend that you do Eon and X39 by themselves. To do those two patches for a few weeks before trying any of the other patches. Just to get your body more in balance. And reduce some of that inflammation. So all of these other patches, the Icewave is wonderful for acute pain. So that is one that if you are suffering from migraines or chronic body pain or different things, this is so helpful to help you get rid of that pain naturally while you're using the Eon and the X39 to actually go in and do the repairs on your body. So this doesn't have to be a chronic situation. So the Icewave is wonderful. Carnosine and glutathione are antioxidants, and the patches are, again, remember, we're talking phototherapy. So these are causing your body to make those. So this is wonderful support for the body. Carnosine supports muscles, brain, heart, really good at helping detox your brain from aluminum. Glutathione is your body's major antioxidant, and it opens up pathways in your liver to help detox anything that your body is fighting in the forms of viruses or bacteria, or if it's overloaded with heavy metals or having trouble, this is incredible. Energy Enhancer is the original one that was created 20 years ago. And that signals your body to turn fat into fuel. And you burn an extra 300 to 600 calories a day. Sign me up every day for that. I have a few extra calories I'd like to eat so that I can burn them. SP6 helps bring your body into homeostasis. It's really good for your endocrine system, thyroid, hormones, your pancreas, kidneys, all really, really good for those things. Silent nights causes your body to make its own melatonin, way more effective and way safer for you than ingesting something from a bottle. Aloe Vera is incredible, and that causes your body to make epithalamine, and that's really good for your skin, cartilage, collagen, your brain, the frontal lobe of your brain, and it lengthens telomeres. And another day, we will talk about all the reverse aging effects of these patches on your telomeres and your DNA. We can literally recode our bodies to a healthier state. So the retail for all of those support patches that I just shared with you is $80 for a month supply. And then wholesale, the lowest price of the wholesale is $50 for 3 or more packs. And that's also the price of the patches or these support patches in one of those wholesale packs that we're about to talk about. The Aloe Vera system is a crazy good deal to support the skin from the outside in and the inside out. The patches help the body to support the skin from the inside out. And also, we've got skin inside our body, by the way. The linings of all of our organs and things, our skin. And then the Aloe Vera, did we lose Cammie? We lost her. I'm surprised it lasted that long. So the day cream is incredible. The night cream is silky, super helpful on sunburns, you name it. It's very, very incredible, and it's very natural for the skin. This company doesn't do anything halfway. They give us the best. And this is a screaming deal at 2 months for the Aloe Vera patches, a day cream and a night cream at $149. And if that's something that you're interested in, we can build that in to one of your wholesale packs. So to the wholesale packs, there are lots of options, but our favorite options for a person or a couple would be the gold kit. That gets you plenty of patches for 2 people to try and a few extra support patches. And again, we like to help people get the patches that will assist and boost their healing, and to support their stem cell activity or their master cell activity. We like to have them on at least the X39 for every month that they are, every decade that they've been alive. So let's say if you're 50, we highly recommend that you stay on the X39 for at least 5 months to give it the good try, because those repairs are happening. And you may not feel them right away, and then all of a sudden things start dropping off your list of complaints once you've been on the patches for a few months. The silver kit is a wonderful kit for a single person to try. And we will help you build that. There are no fees. That's a one-time kit fee. It earns you the ability to buy wholesale from now on with Lifewave. So it's it's getting you the best patches at the lowest price. And then the diamond kit is something that we recommend if you are a business owner and you want to share this with your clients and you're ready to rock and roll. This is an incredible way to get a lot of patches at the lowest price, and we can help you set it up as a business. And we're very, very happy to help you get your money out of that investment as soon as possible. We walk alongside you very much. So this bonus offer,
is expired
Yeah,
as
that's
of
over.
last week.
Yep.
So sorry about that. There'll be another one soon. So this is where we would tell you that the patches, your first order or any order for that matter, yeah, comes with a 30-day money back guarantee. I haven't had anybody return their patches, so they are incredible. And I know Marcy's shared this with over 100,000 people. She's had 2 people in 5 years and 100,000 people return the patches. So pretty incredible. So this company is absolutely growing. And I know Tracy and I can't stop sharing about it. I was just in Idaho last week with Carla, and we were saying, I mean, I was in tears because I feel thrilled that people are having such amazing results with the patches, and they're willing to give it a long enough try to get those results, and just an honor to walk alongside them. But I also was in tears because I'm like, if I have a secret, or if I have something that's going to help somebody with in my pocket or in my purse, or I have a solution for their problem, it's on me to share it. And I was just honored and thrilled and compelled to share it with the people of Southern Idaho, because yeah, we all have issues. Everybody's got something, but this is a great way and an honor to be able to share this with people.
Somebody up there needs to be
So,
admitted.
oh, here we are. So, yeah, does anybody have any questions? Feel free to unmute yourself, and
Do we want to stop the recording?
yeah, we could stop the recording wherever that is.
Mhm.
There it is. I see it.
You see it? Okay.
Yeah.
I know it's always tricky. Moves around.
Stop recording to the